Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Dominions 4 Thrones of Ascension, 4X game created by Illwinter Games, the same people who also made Conquest of Elysium 4, which is another game I covered on my channel, a pretty great series, so you can always go and check that out. But right now we're not talking about Conquest of Elysium 4, we're talking about Dominions 4, finally here playing the game. This has been a highly requested game by a lot of people, and I've been meaning to cover this one for quite some time because Dominions 4 really is an excellent and fantastic 4X strategy game. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the game and check it out and start a campaign and just start playing. So, we're going to go to create a new game. Now, there's all sorts of different maps here you could choose from. It's pretty neat because you can see here how many provinces each map has and how many sea tiles each map has, which is kind of a big deal because there are certain nations that start in the ocean. So lots of different things to take note here, but what we're going to do actually is we're going to do the Dawn of Dominions map, and what's really neat about this one is it's actually a scenario for 12 preset early age nations with varying levels of difficulty depending on the nation. So you can see here that it's going to have 12 preset early age nations, and then each one is going to have a certain levels of difficulty depending on which nation it is. So easy, or Airmore, we've got Sermatia, Oceania, Venheim, Ctis, Helheim. I'm gonna butcher a lot of these names. Arcaskephel, Mervini, Kellum. Yeah, so I'll butcher a lot of these names throughout the game, so bear with me here. But this is going to be the map that we're actually going to play on, the Dawn of Dominions map. It's a pretty cool looking map, has some ocean tiles. We've got a nice little underground cave system here at the bottom, and then the actual map itself. And these nations here, they're going to start with varying levels of difficulty depending on which nation the computer jumps into and plays. So we're going to click OK for that, for enter game name. We'll just call it Let's Play. There we go. Okay, probably because the exclamation point. So Let's Play. Alright, so we cannot pick the Middle Ages or the Late Ages for this scenario. We can only pick the Early Ages. That's perfectly fine anyways. Different ages just randomize different things that your different weapons that your soldiers will use. You can see here in the early ages, most weapons are made of wood, stone, or bronze. Middle ages, it's mostly iron, and late ages, a lot of it is iron and steel. And then magic is actually more powerful in the early stage, whereas in the late stage, magic resources have dwindled, but mages have become more organized, and their knowledge of the different magic paths are greater than ever. And then you can see mages are most powerful in this age, and there's an abundance of magic resources. So early age is kind of unique because if you're really into the whole magic thing and magic resources, early ages is definitely what you want to play as. So it's going to be pretty interesting, and I'm cool with the early ages, so let's jump into it. Now it said 12 players, should be, I will say 12 including ourselves. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And I'll just let, or I'm sorry, I think I added too many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. No, that's it. Okay. And we're just going to let these all these nations, these opponent or AI nations stay random, because I don't know if the scenario will set them up, their actual difficulty and their nation. I hope that it will. Maybe it won't. Maybe I have to set it up. I don't want to take a chance because I don't really want to face an all normal AI. I'd like to have some oddballs thrown in there. I'll just set it up myself so that way I can guarantee it. For our nation though, we are going to be playing as the Arcaskephel. So the Arcaskephel, they're an ancient human kingdom led by philosophers. The Arcaskephel mainly use heavy infantry, chariots, and flying Ichrids. The philosophers are skilled researchers Oreads, roaming mountain spirits, and mystics skilled in astral and elemental magic give Arcaskephel great magical versatility. The priestesses of Arcaskephel can heal wounded soldiers. So kind of neat. They're kind of more of like it says down there, an astral elemental. So they're summoning, trees or water elementals or different types of things like that, as well as astral. So just using healing powers. Astral would be like maybe powers that involve like the moon and stuff like that, or the sun. So kind of interesting. Some pretty cool stuff. But they're going to be a lot of fun to play, I think. So we're going to play definitely as the Arcaskephel. And then you can see the other races that are here as well. So we're going to play as them, and then let's just work our way down and assign all of these guys so that we don't get doubles if we can help it. Yep, and so that does set us up so that we won't get any doubles. Awesome. So there we go, set up there, and then I don't remember which races had that difficulty level or even if that mattered. So I'm just going to go my way down the list and do it like this. So we're going to have some normal AI. We'll have some difficult. Let's actually stick with maybe 4 normal. How about 3? We'll do 2 difficult, 2 mighty, 2 master. I don't know if we should do this. 2 impossible. We're definitely going to lose if I do this. I haven't mentioned yet, I'm no pro at the game. This will probably be only my 2nd time playing the game. It is a cool game. For the 2 times I did play it, I had a lot of fun with it. But I'm definitely not an expert. If you're coming here looking for an expert tutorial on the game, you're coming to the wrong place. But that doesn't mean it's not going to be an interesting playthrough nonetheless, especially with these various difficulty settings we have set up. I think it's going to create a very unique game. So you know what? I'm going to leave it as that, and we're going to see how that plays out for us. It could be a lot of fun. It could be really dangerous. We'll find out. So let's click OK. Alright, so the kingdom of Arcaskephel is yet to be founded and is a loose collection of city-states. Bronze is more common than iron, and hoplites have yet to see the dawn of day. Instead, myrmidons and chariots compose the core of the armies. In this time, slaves are commonly used, and most free men have plenty of time to spend on fine arts and good living. Philosophers gather in the city to discuss esoteric truths, and engineers manufacture clever contraptions for civil or military use. At the heart of the Arcaskephel lies Mount Cephalos, Adobe of the Awakening God. At the foot of the mountain is a great temple where sacred Pegasus riders are trained. Icarids, men with mechanical wings, are also used in warfare. The philosophers are better at magical research in the slothful dominion. So, a lot of sloth there going on. So that's kind of interesting, though. What an interesting race, actually, to think. Almost kind of like maybe almost like a renaissance for them. It says the golden era, which is interesting. So almost like maybe like they're in like a renaissance era, but they're still using slavery, which is interesting. So they're humans though, and then we can see here some things about the nature, astral elements, so very nature and elemental orientated, with philosophers that are really good researchers. The priests are average healing. Septic priestess reduces dominion. The dominion, accurate military reports inside dominion. So not bad. Not bad at all. Let's go ahead and pick our god. So automatically I can tell you this is not the god that I want. This is more of like a water-based god. If we're more like astral / elemental, we want to get a god that kind of fits that. And based off of what you pick, it does affect how many points you can get for that god. So we do want to make sure we pay attention to that as well. What goes with like a Gorgon? Yeah, what goes with like an elemental? Definitely like a solar eagle is pretty elemental, like an eagle. Obviously, the Lord of the Wild would be a pretty standard choice. And 250 points isn't bad. The dragons are super cool, but I think that's just maybe a little bit too, I don't know, I just feel like that's maybe not elemental enough. I think we're going to go with the Lord of the Wild. That feels very elemental. like a deer humanoid. Yeah, definitely pretty elemental there. So let's go with the Lord of the Wild, and then you can see there that he actually starts with some nature. Although, was nature really good for us? I thought we were elemental. I think we were elemental astral. I think there was a little bit of nature there. Maybe not. Do we have somebody that starts? I mean, I guess I could always... No, it's going to make me keep that. Why did it start me with this guy? Okay, because he gets a little bit of astral, it looks like. This is tough. It does matter. Each one of these guys is somewhat different, so it does matter. Oh, sorry, I want to take a look at this guy's... how did I... Here we go. Cost 250, hit points 90, protections 8, magic resistance is 18, morale's pretty good. Animal awe, stealthy, berserker, force survival, recuperation, beastmaster. Okay, that's... This guy is sounding a little bit like what we want, really. This being is the lord of the ancient forest and all its inhabitants. The lord of the wild practices the old arts and is a master of nature and blood magic. Human females in his vicinity will shed their civilized ways and serve the lord of the wild in a life of revelry. These females are called Minaids, and they come in great numbers into Dominion with a great turmoil. Maybe not, actually. We are astral orientated, and he's more like something you would pick if you were picking like elves or something. Boy, I didn't put much thought into this before I started this playthrough, did I? I probably should have preemptively have known who I was going to go with. That's 100% my fault. You know what? The dragons are always a safe bet, you know, and Astral would be like a blue dragon. Okay, and he does get... I think this is that elemental there? Well, he's more of an ice dragon, and I think the other one is fire. Oops, cancel. So I guess this dragon would probably be the best one to go with. He's more of a, or is it not that, oh my goodness, not that one, this one. Okay, he's actually more of like a poison. He does have fear, shape changer, flying, swamp survival. That's interesting. Yeah, he is pretty cool though. Great magic resistance, great protection, hit points pretty good. He's a fighter. Dragons are something we would want to have in our army, that's for sure. Because they're definitely fighters. Well, since I haven't put all too much thought into it. Monster Giants remember when the previous was power you meet the eagle. Messenger. The divine eagle is filled with hubris and claimed to be the lord of all underneath the sun. Punish the great bird with eternal imprisonment. Now the period gone. The shackles of the solar eagle are weakening, and he will once more be free to claim the world as his. The solar eagle is surrounded by an aura of solar brilliance, giving him by the Pantocrator as a messenger of the sun. The solar eagle is able to rise up to the heavens and burn away old age, sickness, and old wounds. He's fire resistant. He is off. Flying, mountain survival. Protection's not as good, but overall he's pretty nice. Yeah, we're gonna go with the dragon. Yep, we're gonna go with the dragon. Let's go ahead and give him a little bit of astral. And some astral. We're not going to do death. We're not going to do blood. Actually, this is elemental go. Astral and elemental heavy. I don't have too many points. His dominion. Let's give him a really good dominion. Magic, drain, fortune, misfortune. Income +3, supplies +15%, growth +20. Let's give him a little bit of growth/death so we can get some early growth. Productivity. You know, we could, if we go the other way, it's sloth, and technically it did say we are sloth, lazy and boring place where apathy reigns supreme. I don't want to give us any negative traits. It's already going to be wow, that gives us a lot of points though. But it's already going to be a pretty hard game with the... It's already going to be a hard game. I don't really want to take too many chances. Income -2. Well, we want that income boost. So basically we got enough points to spend. The land of order is prosperous and peaceful lands where most days are quiet and most people are friendly and tend to share the same views as everyone else. On the other hand, the land of turmoil is chaotic and let's go for productivity since we have slaves, right? So why not? And we could do dormant or imprisoned, and that'll get us some more points. Dormant, he will awaken in a year's time, give or take a few months. Imprisoned, he will break free in 3 years' time, give or take half a year. I don't really want to imprison him because that's a long time to wait for your god. But dormant gives us some extra points, so we can make him a much better god for only having to wait a year for him. So I always usually go dormant. I think that's the best way to do it. And that can give us some extra points towards, because if we're going to be fighting some of these AI the way they are, then we definitely need all the luck we can get. I would like some magic in our land. That's a pretty good idea. So let's do that. Okay, so enter the name of your god. All right, I will be the god. Sabouts, the god. All praise Sabouts. Fear me. All praise me. Bow to your god. Game settings, a divine rule. Score graphs are disabled. That's fine. Hall of Fame entries 10. Limited unique artifact forging rate. We'll just leave everything as is. Okay. Creating our world. So let's jump in and take a look at our world. Setting up the game to take a little bit more time than I would have liked it to, but you guys know how that goes. The first episode's always about setting up that game. Setting up our start positions here. It's taking a little bit of time, but that's alright. Setting up start position still. You know, what I really like about this game, and what I enjoy about most 4X games, or strategy games for that matter, is just how deep they go, you know, or any game. I just like the depth of the mechanics. When we're talking 4X or Tycoon, survival, strategy games, roguelike games, mechanics is king for me. Mechanics and variety, actually. You know, they say variety is the spice of life. And I like a lot of variety in my games, which I think comes with mechanics. You know, having good gameplay mechanics and then having lots of, you know, different things you can do. With the game's got a lot of depth. It doesn't feel like a shallow pond. Dominions really fills that. You know, Dominions is definitely a super deep pond. There's a lot going on in the game. There's a lot happening. You know, so I put it up there with games like maybe Distant Worlds Universe, or trying to think of other games that have depth. Aurora 4X, but that game's is super in depth. So here we are. Messages Sabouts, god of ARCA, spring in the first year of the Ascension Wars. So in the beginning there was chaos. We can read. You guys can pause the game if you want. Read the messages. Happens every time you start a game, so I'm not going to read it. And now the wheel has turned once again, so you can read that as if you want. But I'm not going to go ahead and read it because you get those messages every time you start a game. So we're going to hit exit, and wow, look at that. We started in a really good spot. We started in a great spot, actually. Yeah, that is a good spot to be in. Yep, that is a great spot. So here we are. Here is the map. We don't know where anybody else is because we do have to go ahead and do some exploring to find them. But we can take a look and see where the thrones we have to capture are. So for those of you that might not know, the whole point of the game is to spread your god's dominion. The dominion is actually the little candles there. You're trying to spread your god's dominion, and every race has their own god that they want to be the one god that rules above everybody. And just your goal is to make your god that one god that everybody rules. And to do that, you actually have to capture these thrones here. Now we can see we have one started right next to us, so that's really good, especially because the thrones sometimes have special abilities. We've got a throne over here. There's a throne up here. So already 3 thrones that are right in our vicinity. There's a throne up here at the top of this mountain. Probably not anything we can get. There's some way over here, but we can't pass this mountain range, so those are pretty out of reach. And then one down here that is actually somewhat in reach, because we can have travel right through the cave system from over here. So, and then there's another one. I think I saw one more. Nope, I guess not. Just that one there. But you can see that there's one throne that's definitely in our reach. 2 thrones that might be difficult, but we could do it. 3, that would be hard, and then that would be somewhat... That would actually be pretty easy, because if we can own down to this throne, and we can easily travel under the caves here. It's only 1, 2, 3 more provinces over under the caves, so it's really not that bad. But still, looks like we started in a pretty good spot, because if you take a look... we're on an island here, so we're fairly separated from everybody else. Now, there are circles here, and I'm going to go ahead and just take a guess that that's probably where all the other races started, since we started in one. So that's pretty good, actually. That makes me happy. This is a preset campaign, so that's probably what that means. And yeah, I'm totally okay with that, because you can see we've only got one person to the north here, one person down in the cave system to the south. I'm guessing that's the pale ones, and we've got somebody way up here to the north. So we're going to have some contesting going on with these 3 around us, but other than that, we should be all good to go. So yeah, that's where we stand. So that's it for this first episode. I know, a lot of talking, a lot of setting up the game, and then I just kind of want to outlay the map and outlay our plan and what we kind of had in mind for where we started. So not too exciting for a first episode, but we are all set up and ready to jump into the second episode. Hope you guys are excited for this series. I'm excited definitely to play this one with you guys. So thank you for joining me. I do hope you guys enjoy this episode, and I look forward to seeing you next time.